Don't believe in any of this paranormal shit. It's currently just before 6 a.m. and I'm laying in bed in a dark room with only the light of my phone. I woke up because I heard something moving in my room, so I grabbed my phone and shined light in the direction of the sound, and there was nothing there. I thought maybe I dreamed the sound and I tried to go back to sleep. I heard it again, more clearly this time. It sounds kinda like somebody trying to walk softly on the carpet. Not normal steps, but somebody trying to be quiet. I turned my phone light back on and looked again. Nothing. There's obviously a reasonable explanation for this. Nobody is in the room, so something else is making a sound, and my brain is playing tricks on me, making me think it's somebody sneaking on the carpet. I held the light up for a few minutes to see if I could see what was making the noise. The noise didn't happen again. I turned the light back off and decided to scroll on social media for a bit, and if the sound happened again I could quickly flip the screen to face that direction and see what's making the sound. Almost immediately when I started looking at my phone instead of in that direction, the noise happened again, so I flipped my phone screen as quick as I could. Nothing. I sat up and turned the bedroom light on and sat on my bed, looking in the direction of the noise, waiting a few minutes to hear it again. Nothing. I turned the light back off and laid back down and immediately heard it again. I pulled out my phone and came here to start typing this. I feel like there has to be a reasonable explanation for this, and maybe coming to a paranormal sub isn't the best place to ask for non-paranormal explanations, but I also think you're the only people who won't immediately dismiss me as making shit up. While you're more likely to assume it's paranormal because you want to believe it is, any other skeptic is going to assume my experience is made up because they want to believe it is. That being said, to add to my fears of this being paranormal, I recently moved in with my mom temporarily. She moved a few times while I was in the military, so this is my first time staying in this house. I never had a room here, but my sister did. My sister went missing October 29th last year, and on December 7th they found her dead in an abandoned house a couple miles away. I'm currently sleeping in what was my sister's room. When we had my sister cremated, we put some of her ashes into necklaces that look like a necklace she used to wear, and her 6 kids, my mom, and myself all have one. I'm wearing mine while I type this. I've been typing for about a half hour and I still keep hearing that noise. Update: I remembered that after my sister was cremated, my mom kept her ashes in a box in her closet for a while, but she said when she went to get clothes from her closet it was really cold, so she moved the ashes. I didn't believe her. That's when she had the necklaces made. When I heard my mom wake up this morning, I went out to tell her what I heard, and before I said anything she said the sound of me opening my door scared her, because when she walked past my room she felt something looking at her from up the stairs across from my room, but when she looked there was nothing there. I told her everything that happened this morning, and she told me she had a few other experiences in this house, so she smudged with sage and had her pastor come bless the house. Thank you for all the responses and suggestions. Lots of people said mice, which makes sense because I'm in Ohio and it's getting cold, so mice are seeking warmth. Someone said to take a picture of the area if I hear it again. Someone else offered me a recording of a Buddhist prayer to help the spirit move on if there is a spirit. Someone said to get an REM detector. And someone said to get a night vision camera. 2 people were just passive-aggressive jerks who seemed offended by me being skeptical. So most of you were kind and helpful, lol. Current plan of attack is to catch alive mousetraps, and if I hear the sound again take a picture in that direction and play the Buddhist prayer. Cover all my bases. If I don't catch a mouse and I keep hearing things after the prayer, I might look into the other 2 suggestion. If I do catch a mouse, I might keep it as a pet and name it after my sister because she would think that's hilarious. Thanks again for all the replies. Hello. First post here. I haven't had any remarkable experiences of my own, but I'm not a disbeliever. I have a 5-year-old son. His dad, myself, and him will often stay over at my father-in-law's house as my own father lives across the street and my BIL lives in the house behind the yard. My brother-in-law has a 2-year-old boy who my son plays with every time we're there. They are very close. We will call the 2-year-old D. D goes home around 8 to get ready for bed. He's never out at dark or by himself. For backstory, this house has a vibe to it. I won't say bad, but it seems to bring out bad emotions for people who are frequently there, so much so that my father-in-law's late fiancée succumbed to her poor mental health in a fiery way in the home. And my boyfriend and I will find ourselves angry and fighting at night there. Not typical or over any real things either. This is common for everyone who visits or has stayed. Not bad enough that we don't want to come around, however what my son heard may change that. At least at night. A couple nights ago while staying the night, about an hour or two after D had already went home, my son stops playing and starts running to the door, saying that D is here. I just heard him say my name when we told him D was at home in bed. My son said no, I just heard him yell my name. He wants me to go play with him. There was absolutely nobody else but my son and boyfriend in the house and we didn't hear anything at all. For how close the call he heard came from, we would have heard it. D is very excited over my son and is quite loud when hollering for him. My son was quite confused when we verified that D was at home asleep. Could this have been something trying to mimic D to lure my son? Or just a 5-year-old boy's imagination? It definitely put a chill down our spines. My house is haunted. I know that for a fact. But until now, the haunting seemed harmless, even funny at times. It was a day like any other. I was having a shower, probably around 7 p.m. I was washing my hair, when I heard a bang. I originally thought that it was construction, going on somewhere outside. Then the banging noises started getting closer, until it was right in my ear, almost in the shower with me. Following the banging, I had a sense of unease. I felt like something was watching me, in the shower. I was scared of closing my eyes while washing my hair, fearing that someone would appear when I opened them again. This was a feeling I had never felt before, like my life was actually at jeopardy. I had finally calmed a bit, when I heard a low, guttural growl. It sounded like something a human would make. I couldn't pinpoint it, and it sounded like it was reverberating of the walls. I got out the shower, and heard a scream. Faint, but definitely there. This was earlier today, and I haven't experienced since. I will update whenever something happens. Any advice? What should I do? Should I be scared? Anything is helpful. Hi all, so to give some context, I am a 24-year-old stay-at-home mother to a 13-mo boy, my husband, 25 male, and I currently reside with his grandparents. My husband has lived here on and off his whole life, and I have lived here once before with him while I was in the early years of university. I mention this because there has always been something in this house, and my husband practicing Satanism as well as taunting whatever is here over the years did not help. Grandpa has Alzheimer's as well as a slew of medical and mental issues. He has been declining since 2020, but he has gotten much worse recently. We moved in October of 2023 and since then he has declined more and more, and the paranormal activity has ramped up. For example, I kept seeing shadowy figures out of the side of my eye, and now I see them straight on while they are moving. I used to hear little creaks, now it sounds like someone is moving furniture at 2 a.m. Grandma even asked me if I was moving furniture because it was that loud. I hear someone calling my name downstairs when my son and I are home alone, so I shut the door to the basement and I call anyone who will answer. The dogs who previously would have taken any opportunity to go downstairs, now hardly like to go by the back door. I can't be in the basement alone without some kind of knocking/whispering happening, and it's just getting scary. Grandpa has been talking about some woman named Edith. We have never heard of this woman. He says she keeps coming to his room at night and waking him. What can I do? I am starting to worry for my family, particularly grandpa and baby, as they are most vulnerable. Back in 2020, at the tail end of the major part of the pandemic, I decided to take my family on a trip to Gettysburg, PA. I love history and love reading everything about the Civil War. Now Gettysburg is supposed to be a very haunted place, so you would expect to see things out in the battlefield, cemeteries, and old buildings. The following happened at our hotel. Upon checking into our hotel, I had asked the hotel about laundry facilities, as we didn't arrive directly to Gettysburg but landed in Richmond and did a bunch of battlefields along the way. So by the time we arrived in Gettysburg, we needed to wash some clothes. I tend to pack light, like bring enough clothes for half the trip but then do a wash midway. Since this trip was mainly for me and my son, my wife was like, nope, you are doing laundry. Her way of making me pay for a boring trip for her. That, and I had to buy her lots of pretty things along the way. This evening we got back to our hotel rather late in the evening. I had asked the hotel if it was still okay to do laundry, as there was a sign that said no laundry after I think 8 p.m. or something. The woman at the front desk said that there was no one staying in the rooms near the laundry room. I had to run back to the room to gather my laundry and then again back to the front desk because I ran out of quarters. So by the time I started laundry it was well past 9 p.m. The hotel had one set of washer and dryer there, so rather than run back over to my room I was looking up things to do the next day, and looking at my phone watching videos. I had my body facing the washer and dryer, so off to my left hand side was the interior hallway that lead to other rooms and the double doors to the outside. The noise from the washer was a bit loud when you were in the room, then when I had my clothes in the dryer and washer it was even more loud. I was only paying attention to my phone, not looking down the hallway. However, I had heard a door open and close. I didn't look and just assumed someone was there down the hallway. Off of the side of my view I saw a shadow walking towards me from the very end of the other hallway, so I poked my head up and turned to look down the hallway, totally expecting to see another guest or hotel employee. As I turn, there is no one there. I just assumed maybe they went into a room. I thought in my head that the hotel told me no one was staying near the laundry but in the main part of the hotel. You also need a hotel key card to get in from the outside in. So it wouldn't have been a random person off the street. I go back to looking at my phone. I turn facing the washer and dryer, not paying attention down the hallway. A few minutes later I hear a loud boom from down the hallway. It sounded like metal poles falling over or something. I jump up and look down the hallway and see nothing again. My load that was in the dryer is finished, so I am putting that load in a trash bag and putting the load from the washer into the dryer. As I am doing this I see again someone down the hallway off to the side of my eyes, so I turn and the lights look dim down the hallway and no one was there. I started to feel very uneasy, like if someone was looking at me. I have to wait 30 more minutes for this load to finish. I started to not face the washer and dryer anymore but face down the hallway. I can't tell if my eyes are playing tricks on me, maybe a little tired from the trip or what, but I keep expecting someone to pop out, or jump out and attack me. I go out into the hallway to make sure there is no one there. I look around and it's just an empty hallway. The outer doors leading to this part of the hotel are closed. As soon as my load finishes I start packing it in another trash bag. I am in full get the fuck out of here mode. Now that all the machines are off and I can hear clearly, I pack up my stuff, and start to head out. Just as I get to the door leading to the outside I hear footsteps. I turn thinking someone is walking up on me. Again nothing. I leave that wing of the hotel and make it back to the lobby and then back to my room. My wife looks at me like, what happened to you? I said, well, I totally believe all those stories about Gettysburg being haunted.
Are you a targeted individual? Have you had a paranormal encounter, or are the victim of an unregulated government experiment and would like to share your story with us? Would you like to send us some fan mail or a hate-filled rant? Do you have an idea for a future episode or wish to send a complaint to HR? Email us at atomicshamanSweatlodge@protonmail.com.
Mosey on down to the Atomic Shaman Trading Post. We have t-shirts, decals, refrigerator magnets and other swag for sale. What better way to show your support for the show? Our merch can only be found on t.pub/link/Atomic Shaman Trading Post.